we will again do a site-to-site VPN, but this time we will create a hub and spoke topology, and we will create a VPNs also. See what we have done yesterday. We had a firewall. This firewall we call it a DC. Then we have another firewall. This was in our branch 1. We had another firewall. This was in our branch 2. Right? We were having 3 firewalls. So one tunnel we have created from a DC to branch, right? And another tunnel we have created from a DC to branch 2. So we have created total 2 tunnels from a DC side. There were 2 tunnels created when we have created via VPN manager also. We have created 2 tunnels. So this type of tunnels we call it a point-to-point tunnel. Okay, why this is called a point-to-point? From a one particular side, you can connect to one particular location only. From DC, if you create one tunnel, you can connect to one branch. Then you need to create second tunnel to create a second branch. So suppose like this, I am having 50 branches. How many tunnels would be there in DC? There would be 50 tunnels, right? Or 50 interfaces created. A phase 1 interface, phase 2 interface. Remember when we created tunnels yesterday, we were having 2 interfaces created, right? This was a interface 1, this was a interface 2. Because we are having 2 tunnels on our DC. Let me show you that. We'll log into our Forti Manager again. Okay, I'll go to, sorry, not a VPN manager, we'll go to device manager. Now I'll go to DC. From a DC I am having a 2 VPN going. One is going to branch 1, another is going to branch 2. So if you see, there is one interface created as a hub 2. Okay. And there is another interface created as a hub 3. So for different branches, different interface would be created when we are having a point-to-point tunnels. Okay. Now if I am having 50 branches, 50 interfaces would be created, and that would be a huge headache to manage us for us, right? In a big environment or large environment, this would be very difficult for us to manage. So for this, what usually we do, we create another type of tunnel in our environment. Let us remove this. When we are having a big environment or large environment, we don't create this type of tunnels. We create a tunnel, we call it a point to multi-point. Okay. So what will happen? From a DC, there would be one tunnel going to branch, and from the same particular tunnel, there would be another tunnel created to our branch 2 also. So on a DC side, we would be having only one interface, one VPN interface now. This would be our VPN interface, and a branch also there would be VPN interface, and our branch 2 also there would be VPN interface. So all the branches would be connecting to one VPN interface, and a DC also having one VPN interface only. On top of this, we would be running a BGP. This VPN interface would be having some XIP, this would be having some XIP, this would be having some XIP. All the IPs would be in the same subnet, okay? So we can communicate easily between each other, and we can create a BGP topology on top of this for a route sharings. Now suppose I am having another branch. For example, in the meantime, I'll get another branch, which is my branch 3. Then I am having a branch 4. I don't need to create another VPN interface. From a same interface, the tunnel would be created here. From the same interface, the tunnel would be created here. Okay. This type of tunnel, we call it in a FortiGate terms a dial-up tunnel. Okay. So this particular firewall, our DC firewall or main firewall, would be acting as our main firewall, who would be every router or every particular firewall would be connecting to this firewall as a dial-up client. You remember we used to we configured RAVPN, right? In RAVPN, our firewall was acting as a server, and our PC or our Forti client was acting as a client, right? That is also called a Dialup VPN, and here also this DC or this firewall would be acting as a server, and another firewalls would be acting as a client. to have a communication or to have a connection established. Okay, that's why we would be able to create a tunnel between multiple firewalls using one particular phase 1 interface or phase 2 interface. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now first let us delete the existing configuration which we did. What I will do, whatever manual configuration we done, we will remove that. Manually we have done a static routing configuration and our normalized interface configuration, that I will remove. Okay, then we are having one static route configured on a DC. Let us remove the static routes also. Then branch 1, we are having one normalized interface. The static route would be removed automatically, no worries. Whatever we have done via template, we don't need to worry, or via VPN manager, that we will remove from a VPN manager only. Okay, done. The branch 2 also. Now let me delete the policies also. Remember we have created security policies, right? I'll delete the policies also, this policy and this policy. We don't need these policies anymore. Done. Let us install this first. Install wizard. Then we will remove a config from a VPN manager. Then again we will install. Install this. Okay, finished. Now let us go to VPN manager and remove VPN configuration. VPN community. I'll go to hub. I'll delete all these three. Delete. Done. Now we'll go to VPN community also and we'll delete VPN community also. Done. Install wizard. Install this. Install. As of now we are removing the old configuration which we did yesterday. Later we will do a new configuration for today. Finished. Now let us see if I am having any interfaces. We'll just verify the configuration of all the firewalls. There is no VPN interface. Phase 1 nothing, phase 2 nothing, and branch 1 also. Phase 1, phase 2 nothing. DC firewall, phase 1 nothing, phase 2 nothing. Let us see a routing in branch 1 and branch 2. Only default route is available, no problem. Okay, done. Now we remove the configuration. Now let us see what all the things we need to configure a Dialup VPN or point to multipoint VPN in a FortiGate. Topology. Remember we will create a VPN community. So when we are creating a community, we need to select a topology as a Dialup VPN. Okay. Then we would need a subnet, a new subnet on our tunnel interfaces or tunnel IP. Okay. Tunnel IP, or we can say tunnel interface IP subnet. So for this, what I am going to do is 10.10.1.0/24. So on DC firewall tunnel interface, I will use 10.10.1.1, and branches I will use 10.10.1.3 to 10.10.1.4. 200 or whatever I wanted to use. Okay, so this would be my branches. Whenever I have a branches, I will get this particular IP address. So DC firewall is acting as a server, right? So DC firewall will give this particular IP address to our branch firewalls. So DC would be acting as a DSCP server in this case. Okay, a DC firewall would be acting as our DSCP server for a tunnel interfaces, for our site-to-site VPN tunnel or dial-up VPN tunnel. So our branch should get the IP address of 10.10.1.3, 1.4, 1.5, so on. Okay, so we will configure these things. Let's see. Let us go again. Okay, now first let us create a VPN community. I will create a new community. I will select a dial-up as a community. A name I will give hub. Okay, next I will say phase 2 I wanted to use. Pre-shared key would be FortiGate would be pre-shared key. Same des and MD5. And again des MD5. Okay, now let us go next. I will say I don't want to use a VPN manager. Okay, done. Group Y. Okay, done. Next. Okay, now we'll go to hub. We'll try to add our new managed gateway. What would be my local subnet? A LAN subnet would be my local subnet. Hub would be my DC. Done. Then VPN interface would be my WAN interface. Local gateway, nothing. Here we need to configure specific things. See, my spoke or my branches should get IP from DC, right? For this, you need to enable IKE configuration mode. Okay. Then you need to say what would be the start IP of your spokes, 10.10.1.3. What would be the end IP, 10.10.1.200. Then what is the subnet you need for them? 0. Okay. This specific configuration you need to do for them. I don't want to add route. Okay, done. 8.8.8.8. Okay. This is the specific configuration we would need on our spokes, on our hub also. Okay. Net device, I wanted to enable this. Okay. Done. Now our hub configuration done. I will do our spoke configurations also. Same LAN subnet. Click next. Spoke side. I'll say I want a branch 1. Default WAN interface. Next. So here also I need to enable IK mode config, enable IPv4 assignment, and subnet would be /24. Okay. Then I don't want to add a route. I just need to select a net device. This would be used for hub and our what we say auto detect VPN. When we are having when we want a VPN from spoke to spoke, then this would be useful for us. Okay, done. Next. Then next thing, managed. Again LAN subnet. Next, I want again spoke. BR2 would be my spoke. Default VPN interface would be WAN interface. Done. Then again config 0. Okay, I don't want to add a route manually. Then net device I need to enable. Okay, so now we have configured hub as well as spoke. Let us install this now. Install policy and package, firewall policy. There is an error they are saying DC firewall log review. Okay, let us see. VPN interface phase 2 when net device enable IPv4 start address. Okay, must be multiple of /30. On DC we don't want a net device. 1 minute. Advanced settings. There should be no net device on a DC. Okay. Let us install it again. Okay, done. Install. So once we install this, what we need to do next? See, as we said, we need to have a BGP, right, on top of this. So on a DC firewall interface, phase 1 interface or a VPN interface, I need to give a IP address. So I will say IP address will be 10.10.1.1. Then I need to give remote IP also. Remote IP I will say 10.10.1.2. Okay. After this I will enable BGP. For this we will use a BGP templates. There would be two templates. One template would be hub template. Another template would be spoke. Okay. This would be the two templates we need to use our BGP. After that, all the DC branch 1 and branch 2, they would be tunnel interface that I need to add into a normalized interface. Then I need to configure security policy from LAN to VPN. Okay. Now let us see. Okay, this is done. I'll go to, okay, let us see first DC firewall. Now I'll go to system interface. Now you see there is only one VPN interface configured. There is no multiple interfaces. Right? Previously there was multiple VPN interfaces. Okay. Now first thing I will change this to a normalized interface. And remember I told you we need to configure IP 10.10.1.1 slash 32 it will take. Then 10.10.1.2 slash 24 it will take. Local IP or anything on a tunnel interface would be slash 32 only. It will not take slash 24. Okay. If I give slash 24, what will happen? Let us see. Then I will enable ping on this. Then I wanted to say I wanted to use a normalized interface, which is tunnel interface. Okay, done. Click on OK. System tunnel IP must be have a mask of slash 32 only, right? So it will not accept. Done. Now on a branch 1 and branch 2 also I will enable tunnel interface. I will not give any IP address. Okay, just a normalized interface. IP address would be taken from mode config we have enabled, right? So it will take directly from a hub when we are connecting a tunnels. Done. On a branch 2, mode config, tunnel interface, done. Now let us enable a BGP. So I'll go to provisioning template. I'll say BGP template. They would be by default BGP templates would be available. We need to enable this. This is not created by us. This is created by system only. So let us enable or activate a BGP for a hub. So as of now I will say enable AD VPN. AD VPN will be used when there should be direct tunnel from spoke to spoke. Okay. So local AS 65001, router ID 1.1.1.1. Here when you are configuring a hub, we should not give a neighbor IP address. Okay. We need to give neighbor group number 65001. Then neighbor prefix 10.10.1.0/24, because for a hub there would be multiple neighbors, right? If I give one neighbor IP, then second neighbor will not be working. If you see from this particular side, we are having a one hub IP, right? This is a one hub IP which is having 10.10.1.1. Hub will give IP address to this neighbor, which would be 10.10.1.3. This would be having 10.10.1.4. If I give any neighbor IP in a BGP configuration, I can enable or I can give only one neighbor IP. Either I will create a tunnel between this, okay, or I will create a tunnel between this. Two tunnels are not possible, right? So we should not give a neighbor IP, static neighbor IP. We will give a neighbor group in this particular environment. Okay. For this, what we will do? Neighbor group we will give. Okay. On a hub side, on a branch side, we will create a meta field. Meta field is like a variables, right? For a BGP, we will create a meta field in a branch side, and we will give that particular thing. Okay. because we would be having only single template on a branch, and on a single template I cannot give multiple neighbor IPs. Okay, done. Then what we need to advertise from a hub side, 192.168.1.0/24 I wanted to advertise. Done. Now let us create, first let me do one thing. I will create a meta fields for our branch. So 2 meta fields I would need. Advanced meta field. I will say I wanted to create one meta field. One would be like device. This would be BGP neighbor. BGP IP I can say. Then value would be for a firewall 1. Neighbor IP would be like 10.10. And okay, neighbor IP should be same only. So we just need to create a BGP router ID. So I will say 1.1.1.2 for a branch 1. Router ID. For a branch 2 also we need to create a router ID. 1.1.1.3. Done. Let me copy this and paste it in a notepad. We need to configure a meta value in our BGP configuration. Okay. Apart from this, I wanted to advertise specific config, right, or specific LAN subnets. So I will say again device name would be LAN subnets. So what would be the subnet for a branch? 192.168.2.0/24. Then what would be the subnet for a branch 2? 192.168.3.0/24. Done. Let me copy this also and paste this in a notepad. Okay, done. Again we will go to our device manager, BGP template, activate this template also. I'll say I wanted to activate this local ASM 65001. Router ID, under router ID I cannot give single router ID because this would be used as a multiple routers, right? So I will give a variable here. Then neighbor IP I can give some 10.10.1.1. This would be the neighbor IP of our hub. For everyone there would be same neighbor IP 65001. Then under prefix I need to give a variable because each branch would be having different LAN subnet to advertise, right? Done. Let us go to BGP template again. I'll just edit this. I don't want any interface here or else there would be error. Okay, done. Done. Okay. Let us try to install this now. Install policy and package, firewall policy, done. Let us see what all the configurations would be installed. We'll go for a preview also. If there is any error, we'll see. Install preview. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. No commits to do, no commits to do. Okay. We have not applied this particular to any of the branches, right, or any of the firewalls. Let us apply this to assign device. This is hub, so I will assign to DC. This would be branch, so I will assign this to our branches. Done. And one more thing, just give me 1 minute. Branch 1, a tunnel interface configured, done. A branch 2, a tunnel interface configured. DC, a tunnel interface configured, done. Let us try to deploy this now. Devices and configuration, firewall policy. Now we'll see what all the configurations would be pushed. Install preview. Branch 1, remember we have not given a router ID, we have given a variable. Whatever variable we have configured, that was taken. Okay. Then neighbor, okay, done. Then config network prefix advertisements also happening at the BGP. So this is also we have given a variable, we have not given basic thing. Okay. BR2 also we have given variable. Then neighbor IP, okay. Then done. DC firewall, hub, okay. Okay, done. Then router ID, then neighbor we have given a group here, done. Then okay, this is what we want. Install this now. How to use variables and all we have already checked when we did the interface templates configuration and all, right? So if you missed that, just go to that our video and check how to configure interfaces, how to configure templates for interfaces, routing inter templates and all. Then you will understand again. Okay, done. So the last thing is configure security policy. Let us go to policy and object. Just one policy I need to create, LAN to VPN, VPN to LAN, LAN and tunnel. So incoming interface would be LAN, outgoing interface can be tunnel. So I will configure bidirectional policy. A source would be, it can be DC subnet or branch subnet. A destination also, it can be a DC subnet or it can be branch subnet. Okay. Action would be accept. Tunnel policy. Okay. Let us try to install this now. Install visit firewall policy. Okay. Next. Next. Okay, it is installed. Let us go to VPN Manager now. VPN Manager. Monitor. Tunnels are up and running. All the tunnels. Let us try to ping from branch to DC. Okay. Go here. I'll go here. This is my branch. So let us see what is happening. Show IP. Okay, IP is there. Ping 192.168.3.100. Request timeout. Okay, let us see. Ping 192.168.1.1. Okay, from a branch to our, this one is working. From a branch to our DC is working. Let me try to ping 192.168.3.1. Okay, till branch to our branch firewall it is working. So let me check this PC. Show IP. Oh, there is IP available. Ping 192.168.2.100. Okay, now it is started working. So this should also work now. 3.100. Okay. So now from a branch to DC, branch to branch, everything is working fine. From this branch, let us try to ping DC 3.1. Okay, done. It is also working. Now let us again go to this. We will check a BGP configuration in our firewalls now. Let me go to a firewall of DC. Get the router info, BGP summary. How many BGP neighbors I am having? One is 10.10.1.3, 10.10.1.4. That is our VPN IP addresses, right? Now get the router info, routing table all. So how many BGP subnets I received? 2.0 I have received from neighbor 10.10.1.3. 3.0 received from 10.10.10.1.1.4. Okay. So remember, on this particular firewall we have manually configured IP 10.10.1.1. On this firewall and this firewall there was no IP configured manually. They will receive a IP address whenever they are connecting to our DC. So they received 10.10.1.3. He received 10.10.1.4. As both the neighbors are having different IP addresses, right? This is the reason we have not configured manual IP on a DC BGP neighbor IP. Okay, we have given a group. Group means there would be a subnet added as a BGP neighbor. The subnet was 10.10.1.0. So whoever is part of this particular subnet, a BGP neighborship can be created from our branch to our DC. Okay. Now let me see our branch also once. Okay. Admin get the router info BGP summary. Okay, I am having a one neighborship. Okay, that is saying 10.10.1.1, which our DC only. There would be no neighborship with our spoke to spoke. Okay, remember this particular configuration or this particular lab, what we did? We did a tunnel, hub and spoke topology, right? So from a spoke there would be tunnel to this, from this spoke there would be tunnel to this, but there would be no automatic tunnel from a spoke to spoke. Okay, there would be no direct tunnel from a branch. If a traffic need to go, it will go to DC and it will go to our another branch. Okay, done. Now, okay, 1 minute. Now let us see in this particular get the VPN IKE gateway. So what is the IP address I have received? Assigned IP address 10.10.1.3. We received IP address whenever we are connecting to our DC. Our DC given this particular IP address to us. Okay. Get the router info, routing table all. 1 minute, hold on. Okay, this got stuck. Let me open another firewall also. Get the router info, routing table all. So here I am having two routing tables or two routes received. One is 1.0, one is 3.0. Sorry, 3.0 is directly connected. These two we have received, and we have received from same neighbor, but the recursive would be next hop would be different. It would be showing, but it is received from our BGP only or our same neighbor only. Let us see how many neighborships we are having. Get router info, BGP summary. Okay, 10.10.1.1. This is a BGP summary, or one BGP neighbor would be available. Okay. Now let us see what is the IP address we received on this. Get the VPN IKE gateway. Okay, we have received one assigned IP address 10.10.1.4. This is the IP address we have received from our DC firewall when we are connecting to a VPN tunnel, right? Is it clear? Now whenever I am having, suppose I am having fourth firewall or another branch available. Now to our ISP I am having another branch firewall. So what I need to do in a firewall? Simply just I need to add this branch into my VPN community. Okay, then add this branch into my BGP template and add this branch into our policy. A VPN configuration would be completed. He would be able to part of our VPN community and he can share the data between the branches, right? So this would be as easy. It would be one time configuration, and 30-40 minutes you can create a tunnels between your branches. Okay, any questions, guys?
That's clear.
Okay, so